And a deacon who dedicated his life to bringing comfort to others has died from COVID-19. His unique story and how many are remembering this fixture of the Tampa Bay community when we come back. Wait, as another casualty of the pandemic, COVID-19 has claimed the life of this well-known and well-respected Polk County deacon, despite being vaccinated. Larry Migliorato did more for our community and gave more of himself than some in his own church may have even known.
Our Craig Patrick looks back at his legacy and his message that may inspire others.
A little bit of hope and joy and peace and faith wherever we go.
Deacon Larry Migliorato had a gift for inspiring others with his homilies. Read through the comments on Facebook and you'll get that right off the bat. But when you learn more about his life and his death, his words mean so much more.
How many people did Larry see who was dying?
Deacon Larry was a hospice chaplain in Polk County. He comforted families and terminally ill patients as their final days on this earth ticked away.
And that's a very difficult and challenging ministry.
And for the past 5 years, he served as a deacon at Corpus Christi Catholic Church in Celebration.
He was one of those people who needed to fix things. For those who are sick, those who are shut in, those who can't get out and about, he would do a great deal of visiting.
He was ordained in Illinois, but moved to Florida for the milder winters to protect his health, because Deacon Larry had a weakened immune system. And even though he was fully vaccinated, near the peak of the Delta wave, he was among the small percentage of the vaccinated who caught a breakthrough infection. And having a weakened immune system and other underlying health issues, he was among a much smaller percentage at risk of serious illness, and in the end, he could not fight it off.
He was a real family man. I don't think us men like to always show our tender side, but I think Larry almost couldn't help that.
Looking back on Deacon Larry's homilies, they had a running theme.
To alleviate pain, brokenness, sorrow.
Like any good speaker, he was talking about something he knew from a great deal of experience.
Making the world a little kinder, a little more compassionate, a little more bearable.
And in hindsight, in a way, he was giving his own eulogy.
We will never really understand how or why our lives unfold the way they do.
And preparing his church family for something like a pandemic.
It's much harder for us to believe when life is filled with heartache, sorrow, disappointment.
And giving all of us the wisdom and motivation to do the right things.
Where we see pain, where we see suffering, we have a choice. And what will our choice be?
Well, Deacon Larry was a Vietnam veteran as well, and in one of his final homilies, he gave credit to the Honor Flight Network for healing old wounds and bringing veterans to tears in the course of doing that, and citing it as yet another example of how to live not just in words or in speech, but in deeds. He lived in Davenport. He was 68 years old. Cynthia?
This pandemic sure is taking a lot of good people. It's really, really hard to see. Yeah. Thank you, Craig.